All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Real Talk, where we avoid the blockbuster movies and bring you back to movies that are just fun to watch. They aren't great, but they're fun. They're hangout movies. You want something to watch and have an hour and a half to 2 hours to kill. That's what we do. Also, those movies you watched a long time ago that were really good and just kind of faded into memory. So we're going to hit that nostalgia button and enjoy these old films and new, old, some classics, some things like that. But we aren't going to hit any blockbusters in the movies. I have zero interest in 90% of cinema coming out, and all the stuff I do interested in gets end up scrapped anyways. I am joined by my fellow nerd, Touch of Oblivion, who is actually the one who got me into streaming, who is now retired. He was a fantastic Sea of Thieves. Toucho, it's always good to see you, buddy.
Hello. And I'm technically on an indefinite hiatus, although I'll never touch Sea of Thieves again. But yeah, I need new PC before hiatus ever ends.
Weird, it's not showing you on screen.
Yeah, I don't see my little icon thingy. I just noticed that. Oh no, it's broken.
No, weird. So you're going to be a voice for now until we figure this out, because I don't want to go through all that shit again.
That's fine with me. I can live with that.
We will have him back up and running and stuff like that. I don't know why. It's just, it's been a clusterfuck of tech issues today. So today on the Real Talk, we got Brightburn. Hey, Toucho.
Hi.
I'm not sure who's piling in, but I'll pass around the link. So we got, all right, Brightburn. Superman has just cracked the $500 million mark, which is not going to make its budget back with a $363 million budget. They'll need to crack close to 1.2 billion to make back that and its marketing costs, let alone reshoots. But Gunn isn't a bad director. Superman just isn't his wheelhouse. Superman is not an ensemble character film. So this is why today we are doing Brightburn.
Yes.
And Brightburn is basically Superman gone bad, but instead of it being, Clark Kent, Kansas town and everything like that, the kid was sent to the earth to actually conquer. Like, James Gunn's Superman was. But instead of choosing the moral path of his down-to-earth parents, he actually just starts killing people. It's a superhero horror movie. It's one of the first in its actual genres, and it's absolutely fantastic. So this is, I really enjoyed this film. It starts off the same. Oh, look, infertile couple and everything, and they find a baby in the woods and recover the ship. And, kid grows up, and in his 12th birthday decides he's going to conquer the world because the ship starts talking to him. I loved it. I loved everything about this, because while it was cheesy and horrible and it spun on Superman, at the same time, it was still something new, a bold original. It had a $6 million budget and made back $33 million. It made $33 million. It was produced by James Gunn, and it takes some really fucked up turns, like that eyeball scene with the glass.
Yeah, dude, I loved that scene. That scene was so good.
And like, he has all of Superman's powers. He's got heat vision. He's invulnerable. He can fly. He's super strong. But the really cool thing that they changed about him is he affects electronics. He can turn them off at will. So you really can't call for help if you're on a radio or a phone or something like that.
Right. The other thing that he doesn't have compared to Superman, or at least they only showed it in a minor way, he doesn't have the ice breath Superman has, although there is that one scene in the diner where he clearly fogs up the windows and they stay fogged, so he does have a way to at least cause some kind of temperature differentiation, although they don't show how he does it. I assume it was breath and he just did it super fast.
The truck scene was by far my favorite. So basically,
yes, with his uncle.
With his uncle. So he likes a girl in school, and the girl rejects him, and he did something creepy. He like stalked her in her room, and she just was really off-put by him. So they were doing a trust exercise at Earth, and this was his push over into realizing that he is angry and that he really has powers. So he trusts her, and they did a trust fall in gym, and she didn't catch him. She let him fall and hit the ground. And the gym teacher's like, help her up. We're all friends here. He reaches over, grabs her, crushes her hand, and snaps her wrist.
I mean, to be fair though, not only did she let him fall, but when he like fell into her,
He's
she
a
went
creep.
ew, like she went ew, and let him like fall and hit the back of his head on asphalt.
Yep.
And
Luckily, he's super
the teacher told her, if you don't help him up, you're failing this class. We're supposed to be a team.
I really liked the dad in this film. I really,
Yes.
really liked the father. I'm going to pull up the wiki here. And I really enjoyed the dad in this film. Like that guy, I really got that. I'm just a dad, just a blue collar dad off of him the whole time.
Yeah, and I like that as he starts suspecting his son of these things.
Oh, you are up. You're just, that's weird.
As he starts suspecting his son of these things, the fact that he like, you get to see that conflict in him of like, this is my son, like he's a good boy, he's a nice kid, like, and also realizing, oh God, like what's he been doing? What has he done? Like what the fuck? Like I gotta stop him.
We'll get into that in a minute. So it goes through, and you find out that he really likes this girl, and his mom, that girl's mom, freaks out on the kid, like freaks out on the kid, and absolutely like absolutely insults him in front of his parents, calls him a little monster or whatever, demanding arrests.
To be fair, if I was that girl's mom or dad and someone else's kid literally like crushed her fucking hand and snapped her wrist, like, yeah, I'd probably be like, what the hell is wrong with your kid? How does your child have the strength to do that? What's wrong with him?
Yeah. So it's a James Gunn film. It's got Elizabeth Banks in it, which is absolutely fit. She was the star power behind it. But honestly, the kid did a great job, but the guy who played the father was absolutely fantastic. David Denman, the guy who played the dad, absolutely perfect.
Oh dang, he's lost some weight since Brightburn.
He's lost some weight, but if he might have done it for the role, because
they might have wanted to give him that like dad bod farmer look. Yeah, give him that farmer
look. The guy who played. Have you ever seen Yellowstone?
No, I know of it, but I've not.
Okay, so there's a guy in there named Rip. And he is literally he's a cowboy dressed in all black, and he is literally fuck around, find out. And the actor Cole Hauser is a phenomenal actor, and he's usually a reddish blonde hair, very chiseled, very cut. He's like, nobody's gonna trust a cowboy that looks like that, so he packed on weight for the role. You got to see the difference between him and he's in Rip form. It is fucking phenomenal. So, and then, you got the kid, Jackson A. Dunn, who is he doesn't even have a wiki. The kid was 12 when this was made. The movie was $6 million and made $33 million in the box office. That's really good for a movie that came out in May of 2024. That's fantastic.
Yeah, honestly, that's damn good.
It doesn't have to be a summer blockbuster. It opened up in May. It opened up late spring. I'd go see this late spring.
Yeah, I would agree.
So the kid starts doing messed up shit. Like he wants to be with this girl, but his mom, she's like, my mom won't let us, like just to get him away. And she's like, well, I'll take care of that. Oh my God, what he did to that mother.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he fucks with her she works at a diner, and he fucks with her. Like he literally starts off going, he starts off and he's going through, he draws the little symbol on the fucking windows. Everything scares her. He fucks with the electronics, and she's looking at the flickering fluorescent lights, and they explode, and a glass shard goes right into her eye. And she like opens up her eye, takes it out. There's a squirt of blood and everything on there. And after she does that, it switches to her camera perspective, which I really like. And she's got like half blood on her face and the other half of her eye. So all her vision is blurry. And she's making around, and the whole time the kid's just using his super speed to mess with her. And she finally is like, go ahead.
I also liked with the glass shard, the fact that they didn't just have her like, rip it out of her fucking face. Like the fact that she stopped and was like, oh God, there's a glass shard in my eye, spread her eye open with one hand and then
And
like slowly pulled the shard out because she knew, like, the fact that they actually did the portrayal of like, we need to show that she knows she can't just fucking rip this out of her face. Like, she has to be very, very careful.
mm-hmm.
Even though she's in a dangerous situation, like, she still has to take the time to be like, okay, let's make sure my eye doesn't close while I'm doing this, and now let's carefully pull this out.
And the spurt at the end, oh god.
The spurt was so good.
I'm like, that's
and then,
icing on the cake. I just wish it wasn't CGI.
yeah, and then, like, honestly, like you said, though, I did enjoy the fact that they did her POV,
Oh,
and
that POV
that, like, half of her
phenomenal.
vision was just covered in blood.
Yeah,
Um,
that POV shift was great. So
yeah.
she stumbles around the counter, gets a baseball bat, and she goes into like the walk-in, which is not going to help her.
No.
And like the kid lasers the freaking walk-in door in half. And it is absolutely insane. And she's just freaking out she's terrified. And then the next thing you see is the kid floating. He's not even walking, he's floating like an inch above the ground. And the kid and that's the last you see of her for the rest of the film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all we see is him do like a fast rush forward, and you hear like a squelching, crushing sound. So you know he did something to her, like slammed her face up against the wall of the walk-in or something. But he didn't leave her body there. He did something with her body, because later on, when we get a couple of scenes later, when the police are there investigating the diner, we don't get to see a body. All we get to see is the sheriff look into the walk-in and go, "Oh God!" And then down the line, they're like, "Yeah, we still haven't found her yet. The waitress is still missing." So it's like, okay, so he didn't just like kill her and leave her there. He did something with her. Like, where did he put her?
Yeah,
Why did
that's gonna come. Oh God,
you
where
know?
did he
And
put
also,
her?
it's like a why? Like, why did he do it? Like, you know, like, at least at that point in the movie, you're like, why did he take her body? Like, why didn't he just kill her and leave her there?
Roman of the Empire, Brightburn it's so good. It's an original concept, and we don't see that a lot in theaters anymore. Like, we
No.
don't get, like, I don't care if it's a spin-off. These stories, all of our comics, all the stuff that we read growing up should inspire us to create new. Use that as a foundation and make our own things, and that's what these writers did. It was James Gunn's cousin, but he still did it, and I thought that was absolutely fantastic. So it goes through, the more things. You find out more about the ship at this point, and he was sent there to conquer, because they actually like mirror this in the opening thing, that he was a wasp sent to Earth to conquer and live and be fostered by the bees that lived there until he was powerful enough to take over the hive. And I thought that was a great analogy for the whole thing, because it was great foreshadowing, because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's what he is. And they did definitely give like an insect with the buzz and everything like that coming off the ship, which I thought was a nice touch. But so
Yes.
he goes to his aunt, he's now in court mandated therapy with his aunt, that's no conflict of interest
It
there.
wasn't even therapy. She was the school guidance counselor. So it's
Counselor.
which is messed up, because it means, like, wait, the closest thing you can get to forcing him into therapy is you're
His
putting him in you're putting him in a room with a woman who has conflict of interest because she's fucking related to him.
Mm-hmm. So he goes to his aunt's house and is like, you can't, tell my mom any of this or anything like that, because he really freaks her out after the first session. And they're like, yeah, that's not going to happen. So she gets all set up to go to bed that night after he leaves. And we use that term very loosely. And she goes over and does that. But the next thing you see her like over her sleeping body, creeping, like slowly floating towards her bed. And suddenly the husband comes home, his uncle. And he freaks out. The uncle goes in, he brushes his teeth. You see the kid up in there. He's got the fucked up mask on at this point with the shoelace stitches and everything. And he just like hangs up there. And the uncle finds him in the closet. And he's like, what are you doing here, you little freak? Yeah, it wasn't widely received. Yeah, I know. It sucks. Um, The whole movie is underappreciated. That's what my goal is here, is to bring those movies that are either really underappreciated or forgotten about from your youth or something like that to the forefront, to make you go out and watch it, to remember what good cinema's like. You can check out my review on Critic List. I'll pull up a thing right here. Free site to sign up for. People just give honest opinions. I'll drop it in the chat for you right now. People just drop it in the chat. That's my review for Brightburn, but I've reviewed a whole bunch of other stuff on here. I'm still trying to figure out the back end of YouTube, like how to highlight a chat, but I think that might be a StreamYards thing. I don't know. I'm still figuring this out.
I've returned.
So the uncle comes home and finds me. He's like, "What are you doing, you little fucked up kid?" Oh, this is a good deep dive, dude. This would be a great deep dive to go into, Roman. So the uncle finds the kid in the closet and it's like, "What are you doing here with this fucked up mask and everything? It's not scary." I'm like, that shouldn't be a red flag. So the kid gets dragged out and they're driving home and he's like, "Get in the car." So he tosses the kid in front of the door. He goes around to his side. He looks over. The kid's not in the car. He's like, "I said get in," and the kid's gone. And I'm like, okay, the kid's gone. Okay, so he starts driving, and suddenly he's driving along, going at a good pace, and the kid flies by and cracks into his car. His name
does like a side ram on him,
just side rammed on him, and it stalls out this shit box. His name is Brandon.
Yeah, it was also nice because the side ram, like, he could have killed him there. This was another instance of him he's messing with his target. Like, he is terrifying this man, not because he has to, but because why not?
Because why not? Like, so he hits the car and it stalls. And this is one of the funniest scenes in the movie. Okay. Because this actually made me break out laughing. He turns on, like, as he's trying to get the car to turn over, the lights are turning on. And all of a sudden, he turns on the lights. He goes, "Come on, come on, come on," because he's terrified at this point. He's like, "Come on!" All of a sudden, the lights flick on, and there's Brandon in the Brightburn outfit with floating above the ground. He's like, "No, no, no," and he's just trying to get the car to.
He starts being like, "It's time to go! Come on, nope, not doing it.
Come on!"
And like, I did appreciate the fact that it was a little bit of a comedic break during a horror moment, because you do need, in a good horror movie, in my opinion, you need the occasional tension break. But it was also a good portrayal of, I think, how certain people might react in this situation. Of their brain is processing, this isn't possible, but I'm seeing it. Okay, I'm freaking out, but I need to put that aside right now. It's time to go. This isn't happening. This isn't happening. It's time to go. We're gonna turn. We're gonna.
When I get actually scared, if I ever get scared playing a game, it's literally like, "Nope, we're going the other way now," in a pure, calm, logical kind of way.
Yeah.
Inside, I'm like, "Run! Go faster!"
I mean, when I was streaming, when I played things like Layers of Fear and stuff, there were moments that, like, on
I got
stream,
a Toucho clip on Twitter, on X, from
nice.
I still have all of my clips saved.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I still have that, or there was the one moment where I know somebody clipped it, and it should still be on my channel, on my clip list, I believe, because I did go through and delete a bunch that had music in them when DMCAs were flying left, right, and center. But there's a part where, like, you can tell I'm scared, and I'm like, nope, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not. I really don't want to go in this room. That room scares me. And meanwhile, mentally, I'm just like, "Oh, I don't want to
do this." So the kid picks up the back of the car and drops it, and his uncle's jaw, like, literally his mouth is open because he's screaming. He hits the steering wheel and it completely severs and almost dislocates. It almost completely severs his jaw.
Yeah, because he basically picks up the ass end of the car, floats it up, like, I would say, what, maybe 10, 15, yeah, 10, like somewhere between 10 and 20 feet off the ground, with the front of the car pointed straight at the road, and just lets it go. And because, like Grim said, because his uncle's busy going, "Ah!" when he, like, suddenly lurches forward because of the impact, he eats that steering wheel. And I loved that scene, because after that, when the car, like, flops over and then flips onto its roof, so he's now upside down, and, like, the windows are all shattered and everything. like survival instinct is having this dude, like he's too much in shock to think about, I got to get out of the car, I got to undo the seatbelt or anything like that. It's literally, he just puts one hand onto his jaw and like tries to hold his jaw in place, and all you can hear is just this constantly.
Yep. And the kid and Brandon walks over and just looks at him and reaches in for his blood and draws the Brightburn symbol on the ground.
Yeah, that was the other fun thing about this, is that I liked that he wasn't just doing these things because his little spaceship pod was like, take the planet.
No,
The fact that he's also doing it kind of like a serial killer. You know, he's doing his calling card of like, Brightburn did this.
Yep.
Who killed this guy? Brightburn did it.
So, it cuts to the hospital. They're all freaking. Oh my god, because he obviously died. Oh, he was drunk or whatever. Coming home and everything, because this takes place in like Kansas or some Midwest town.
Well, there's also the fact that he was out drinking with Brightburn's dad and one of their buddies at a bar playing pool, and he made it home fine because he wasn't like that fucked up or whatever. But of course, when they do the toxicology report, they're like, oh, he had alcohol in his system. So now fights happen between mom and dad, and mom's like, you're blaming our son for this because you let your friend drive home drunk. And he's like, how fucking dare you? You know, like how dare you say that?
Yeah, the mom went down for the very end, man. That was a rough ending for her.
But yeah, like it's fun seeing his behaviors starting to affect the family life, especially when dad starts suspecting things and starts trying to convince mom that, like, look, this is what's going on. Like, it's him. He's doing this.
He look like us, but he's not like us.
And mom being mom, especially because something that I don't think we touched on is the fact that these two, after they got married, for years tried to get pregnant and just could not. Like the literally the opening scene of the movie is a bookcase with a bunch of books on like how to, you know, increase fertility or how to come to terms with the fact that you may be infertile and things like that. So they've been trying to have a baby. They were literally about to get down and dirty when they heard his little space pod crash, and then they found a baby in it. We're like, oh my god, it's finally, we've tried for so long.
Then the dad had that fucked up dream.
Yeah, the dad has a dream that's like a weird twisted memory of when they found the space pod. But the fact that you know, like they start this home tension, and mom being mom is, you know, she's trying to be a good mom. She's trying to be like, my son would never do that. He's a good boy. And she's just denying what's in front of her. And I love like later on in the movie when she starts to realize like
the phone call.
Yeah, like
you found the notebook, it was the end.
Yeah, when she finally realizes that her husband was right, and by this point I think husband was already dead.
Yeah, we're not to that point. So they go through like Tetro said, it starts to put tension on the whole family unit. And the dad's the first to catch on. So he does what dads do and men do. He's going to solve the problem himself and just deal with whatever fallout comes.
Yep. Yeah.
He takes his son hunting. And
after a big argument with his wife, and the wife get into a big argument. And then to appease her, he's like, look, I'm going to take him out hunting this weekend. I'm going to show him that I love him. I'm going to show him that, you know, he's my son. We're going to fix this. And wife is just like, oh, that's my best man. You know, and then dad takes son hunting, and dad's not there to fix things in the sense of like, hey son, let's sit down and have a man-to-man talk. Dad's there to be like, my son is a monster. I have to kill him.
Yeah. That basically what it comes down to. So the scene is great. The son is set ahead of him, like checking for scat and traces of the deer, tracking a deer. And the dad's just having a conversation with him, and he raises his hunting rifle and tries to shoot his son in the back of the head. And you hear the bullet ricochet, and then the kid's head move forward, and the dad's just like, oh shit. Oh shit.
Yep. Yeah, dad realizes real quick, oh, this is not gonna work. Fuck.
Yeah. So the kid turns around, and like the dad is, you know, like the kid just knows, like he knows what he has to do now. I don't think he had ever intentions of hurting either of his parents.
Yeah, I mean, it's very clear, like when he visits his aunt's house after the therapy session or the counseling session, where she says, like, you know, I have to report to the police if you seem to have remorse for breaking this girl's arm. When he shows up at her house late at night and she's like, why are you here? This is really inappropriate. He's like, the fact that he like stops and goes, look, You
It's
said
not
you
good
have to
for
talk
you.
to
It's
you.
not good for mom. It's not good for dad.
Well,
It's not good
it's the
for
fact.
anybody, and
It's
especially not good for you.
it's the fact that he says, like, you said you have to talk to the sheriffs if I don't like show remorse over this, right? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, look, you need to very much not do that because it's not good for my parents and it's really not good for you. So I think even at this point, I don't think he wanted to hurt his aunt either because he's
No.
like, this is my aunt. Like, I love my aunt, but I also can't let her tell people what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he does. Even when his uncle finds him at his house, I was like, "What the fuck are you doing here? Like, we're going back to your parents." And he's like, "Please don't tell my parents. You need to not tell my parents." Like, I think that was his one attempt to be like, "Uncle Noah, don't do something stupid."
Mm-hmm. And
So
unfortunately, the 12-year-old with superpowers isn't exactly going to get a shit ton of respect and listened to by adults.
right, yeah, but like he does show that there are certain people he doesn't want to hurt. Even the girl whose arm he shattered, like he before he kills her mother, he shows up in her house and leaves her flowers, and like
Flowers.
he scares the shit out of her because she sees him show up and everything, and he says, "Don't worry, I'm going to take care of everything." So like people that he cares about, he's like, "All right, these are the people that I care about. They're different. Everyone else, fair game. These people though are different unless."
Yeah.
And that's the thing I like is that even though he's only 12, his brain still is like factoring in my mission is to conquer this planet. I don't want to hurt this little group of people. But if
Everybody
they fuck
else
with
is fucked.
yeah, everyone else is fair game. But if these people, this little group of special people, if they fuck with my mission, they're done.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that like it's not just him making that decision. I do think that that was a mix of the little space pod programming because we haven't talked about the fact that he has that scene where like the space pod is speaking to him in whatever language his people
His
have.
home language, and yeah, I'm like it started overriding whatever raise he had in the program.
Right. Well, the thing that I
whatever
liked,
maybe dependent on, you might have been pre-programmed that needed activation, or it overwrote a lot of stuff.
I think it needed activation because the first sign that we have something is wrong is when the space pod like reaches out to him and he has like a seizure or something, and then suddenly wakes up and tries to go to the space pod. And his mom finds him basically sleepwalking, and he's like chanting something in this alien language. And then later scenes with the interaction with the space pod. What?
Your mic cut out there for a minute.
Okay. Anyway,
you're fine now.
Yeah. So like as he continues to interact with the space pod, he starts chanting along with what it's saying. Like it'll say like blah 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 blah, and then all of a sudden it starts saying blah blah blah, and he says take. Like it's repeating this information into his head, and his brain is translating it into English. And then the moment that he finishes the translation of these three words to take the world, all of a sudden it's like he's activated. Like the programming's activated because he now understands what he's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that you get like it's not that he's just like, well, I'm different, so I'm going to conquer the planet. He was sent there to do this. But you also
these five
see
people are okay. You can't hurt my family.
Like you, it's like a deep sleeper cell operative where like he has his mission, he knows what he's supposed to do, but because of his deep cover period, there are certain things that they've changed the parameters of the mission. And I love to see the fact that like he spent 12 years on Earth with humans and has this small group of people that he's like, okay, I'm supposed to take the world, kill anyone that's in my way, but not these people. They're different. They're different. They're good. Unless they get in my way actively. At which point then I think at that point, that's when the programming adapts and goes, okay, these individuals are okay. But the moment one of them steps over the line, the programming goes, nope, kill him.
Mm-hmm. So the dad tries to kill him, and the dad basically realizes he fucked up. He tries to get away, but his son lasers, like eye lasers the shit, and melts through his head.
Yeah, and I love that scene because it's not just like he just laser blasts him and he's dead. It's not just a quick like, fuck you, dad, you're dead.
No,
like he straight up beats the crap out of his dad, grabs him by the face, and just
off.
Yeah, he just makes eye contact and straight up lasers into dad's eyes until it burns through the back of his head. And they don't cut away. Like they rotate the camera so that you don't see his face melting as much. But then you see the lasers come out the back of his head.
And then his hands just go limp.
And I also love the fact that like it starts off with the lasers, dad's screaming because of course pain. Mm-hmm. And then as his brain melts, the scream just turns into ah. And like his brain just shuts down. There's no more pain reaction. It's just brain's cooked. It's done.
Yeah. So at this point, while all the dad face melting is happening, the mom finds the kid's notebook of everything that he's done in the past couple days, like killing his uncle. The what?
We do get a moment earlier in the movie after I think is it before? No, it's before he snaps girl's arm, where mom walks up to him and sees him drawing the Brightburn symbol, and that like the double Bluetooth symbol is meant to be Brandon Breyer, but Breyer is like backwards and going to the left while Brandon's going to the right. So mom gets to see that for just a split second and makes a comment of like, "Oh, nice shading" and stuff like that. But he tries to hide it from her, and she takes it as just like typical kid, like, "Mom, don't look at my stuff."
Budding teenagers type stuff.
Yeah, don't look at my stuff, Mom. And then she finds the notebook and realizes, oh no, because it's not just that symbol; it's also things he's done.
It's like you get the waitress, and you get the waitress, you get what he did to his uncle, in actually rather well artist for a 12-year-old.
I'm blaming that on the fact that mom seems to be a painter, because we do get some scenes where mom's like painting at night. So I'm guessing maybe mom fostered artistic interest in him.
It's definitely possible. So
which I think is also part of why he seems to have such a strong bond with mom, because out of everyone in his little special group, mom is the one that he idolizes his mother. I think he adores his mother.
Mm-hmm. He does
more than anyone else.
Mom always had his back, and the bond between a mother and the son is actually something. It really is something.
Mm-hmm.
Even even with adoptive parents, dads are just built different.
Yeah, I mean, even the scene where he does find the pod and she snaps him out of the programming, and she tries to tell him, like, she doesn't like scream at him, she doesn't yell at him, she doesn't say, "What the fuck are you doing in here?" She's like, "I'm sorry, we didn't adopt you from an agency. We found you in that."
He was more upset that he was lied to.
Yeah, he was upset that they lied to him about where he came from. He wasn't upset that he was adopted. He granted, it seems like they may have told him he was adopted, but he was upset that they didn't tell him about the pod, and he doesn't get the chance to listen to her. But she does try to say, like, we were going to tell you eventually. So I'm guessing they were maybe going to wait till he was like in high school or 18 or something and be like, okay, so here's where you really came from.
Mm-hmm. So,
but back to mom finding the notebook.
Mom finds the notebook, and she calls her husband, and he come on, pick up, and the phone picks up, and at this point, hubby dead. Hubby very, very dead. And she answers the phone, and she's like, "Oh my God, it was him the whole time. He should have listened to you." And the kid's just like, "Mom." The kid is like, "Mom," she's like, "Mom," and all of a sudden you just see the fear going, "Oh shit." So she's like, "Honey, where are you?" and stuff like that. She's like, "I'm home," as you see the kid floating over the house and crushes the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And thus begins a fantastic chase sequence. Like, how do you outrun a super 12-year-old evil Superman?
Right, and something else I like about the scene where he picks up the phone while he's already above the house and everything is prior to that. It is a fantastic cinematic shot. But prior to that, I wasn't sure if he could control his EMF ability to fuck with electronics. I know there was evidence of it when he killed his uncle, because it seemed like he was making the headlights turn on and off, but I wasn't sure if that was like an uncontrolled kind of weird thing. But
I think he did that. I think he might have actually done that to fuck with his uncle.
Oh, he absolutely did. But I think the phone scene is what made me go like, okay, he was doing that to terrify his uncle, because of the fact he's on the phone, he's using his powers to fly and everything. The phone's working fine. That means his ability to fuck with cameras and electronics and all that shit is a conscious choice. It's not just like, oh, he has weird powers that mess with electronics. It's no, he can choose to mess with electronics.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of terrifying if you think about it, because then at that point, imagine if he's in a building with security cameras and he's killing everyone in the building. He can choose to leave the cameras on just long enough so that people like security guard or something could see him rip someone in half, and then the camera's dead. Where did he go? Oh, now he's on another camera. You get to see him kill somebody else, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that actually was like give it to Brian and Mark Gunn for that power. That's absolutely terrifying genius
Mm-hmm.
in terms
Mm-hmm.
of like Superman has this other stuff, but an evil Superman being able to do that really is phenomenal.
Yeah,
So the mom gets out of the house. They call the police. She calls the police to get help, and the sheriff shows up. And
that poor
oh
sheriff.
God, that poor sheriff, great
That poor.
actor. I
Yeah,
don't
that
know
poor
his name.
sheriff.
What's his name?
I'm gonna
Oh
look it up.
God,
Hold on, I'll look it up
Gregory
while we talk.
Allen Williams, absolutely phenomenal actor, ex-marine, everything like that.
I also want to know who his one deputy is, the lady deputy who like is one of the
Anne
last
Humphrey,
cops.
Deputy Aries.
Yeah, she did so good. Like her and the sheriff both did
Oh
so
God, poor
good.
that. So the sheriff shows up, and the mom's like, "He's in the house. He's in the house." The sheriff goes to step up on the porch, and the sheriff is turned into a grease spot, like
Yeah.
literal grease spot. The only thing you see is fine red mist as the kid hits him.
Yep. And something I like about this, along with other like all of the scenes where he's messing with someone, whether it's the waitress in the diner, his uncle, the sheriff, his whatever, is you can tell that like whatever alien race this kid is from are apex fucking predators.
Oh yeah.
And I love the fact that he's not killing for food, of course, like he's not eating people, but he is killing. And I don't know if this is an instinct or part of the programming from the pod. Like maybe this race values inflicting fear on its enemies as a warfare tactic, which is an understandable thing to do. But he kills that sheriff in that manner because there's deputies there who will see him die, and therefore those deputies will shit their pants.
Disorientation from fear.
Yeah. And that is exactly what it does. Like his deputies see him die and just see him just poof, he's gone. And they immediately go from like calm, collected, like police, like with their weapons out, ready to do their procedures, their protocols, whatever, to they're now freaking out because now all they can think is what the fuck just happened to my boss? What happened to him? What killed him? What did that?
The deputy then, after Sheriff Greasespot makes his way. It's true. Like I actually, that was true. One of those. That's like the only death in the movie outside of not even the dad made you feel bad, but that sheriff was literally just trying to do his job, and he's just a nice guy. I mean, he let the kid off in the beginning of the movie.
Right. Like I feel like that sheriff was like probably the chillest movie cop I've ever seen. Like I feel like he's the kind of sheriff that if he found a bunch of teenagers like drinking or doing drugs, he'd be all like, all right, give me the shit that you got. I'm going to take y'all home. We're not going to talk about this to your parents, but this is a one-time thing. All right, I'm doing y'all a favor.
Do it again.
Do this.
I got to do something about it.
Yeah, like don't make me do my job, guys. Come on,
So the deputy goes through the house, and the kid, Brandon, is once again, the kid's name is Brandon. The kid's once again fucking with it, because I just call it the kid. Because Brandon doesn't begin to describe what the kid is.
Ain't that the truth?
So the mom's hiding as the officer goes through the house, and that like I've seen bad ends in movies, but that officer, holy so you don't even get to see it. The mom is terrified under the bed and has her mouth covered, and in the background you see the blurred as the kid is literally beating the shit out of the sheriff, flying through layers of the house. And then he flies her into the room with his mom and drops her on the floor. And her face is marred with ripped open scars of wood, jagged wood. She is beaten and bloody, and looks at his mom under the bed, and just kind of and gurgles as the blood pools under her. And right, just damn.
You have to think of what he does to this sheriff deputy lady. You have to think of it as like, if you've ever seen the movie Constantine or innumerable superhero movies where like the hero gets grabbed by the villain and then just through like the walls of an office building.
And that with a human.
yeah. Like if you've ever seen Constantine, where the scene where like John Constantine gets yeeted through like 4 walls full of crap. But because he's Constantine and it wasn't meant to kill him, it was meant just to throw him away from something he needed to get to. So he doesn't like he's got dust and stuff on him, but there's no pieces of wood in him. There's no
there's
wounds
pieces
or
of wood
you
out of
know.
this chick.
But this is just a normal human. So imagine a supervillain just grabbing a cop who says freeze and just being like, you want me to freeze? You want me to freeze? You impudent piece of shit! How dare you? And just he's like, I'm going to inflict horrific pain on you because I guarantee you with what he did to her, not only was she dealing with all the pieces of wood and the ripped face and the bleeding, her spine was probably shattered, her ribs were broken, her internal organs had probably been punctured and or ruptured. Like she was in intense levels of agony that I doubt she was even able to process thought before he was done. And then he just drops her on the floor like she's a fucking sack of rotten. She's like a bag of rotten fruit, just garbage.
So the mom finally gets out of the house, and then she realizes something she noticed earlier. The kid, when the first ship finally called him and activated him, he falls and he cuts himself on the ship. He actually hurts him. So she's like, oh my God, the ship can hurt him. Oh my God. And she runs out to the barn and makes her way down to where the ship is. And the ship is flashing lights, and you see something in the background. You see all the Brightburn symbols all around. But we finally know where he put the waitress. He eviscerated her and put her next to the ship. Her, like, she is like ripped open here and has nothing here.
Yeah.
And she tears a weak part off of the ship. I'm not even going to try to figure out how she did that.
Right, like especially because like what is this ship made out of that like it survived a crash landing, or pod landing, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't take any ridiculous damage because clearly it still functions at least
and
in the
she can
sense
just
of
tear
it.
a piece off. We're going to call this plot force.
Yeah, that was plot force because like this pod survived however long it traveled. It survived re-entry into an atmosphere. It survived high-speed impact through a forest, meaning it slammed through trees and shit before it hit the ground. It was strong enough that the baby inside of it did not care about any of this and was not even disturbed by it.
Mm-hmm.
And the only time we see it hurt him is when he takes a fall from a decent height. I would say like, maybe 8-9 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And falls and hits his hand on a hard edge. So like, okay, cool. It cuts his hand open. That makes sense. That's what would happen to anybody. How mom just runs up and yanks a piece of this shit off. Like, I don't care if you're like, oh, she's got adrenaline. She's terrified. Like, no, not that much adrenaline.
Not that much adrenaline. It's one of those. It's one of the serious plot holes I can punch out with this.
Yeah, honestly,
but
that's like the biggest plot hole.
Hardcore serious.
Right. Also the fact that like anyone who focuses heavily on that moment is like, okay, we also have a boy who can shoot lasers out of his eyes. Explain that one to me. Like, if we're going to argue about like how does mom rip a piece of metal off the spaceship, how does the little boy shoot lasers out of his eyes? Come on.
It's a slight suspension of disbelief. Like you're into the movie, so you're not really looking at it like that. You're looking at, oh, she found a weak spot or something. You can come up with whatever. So so you go in and you do like the kid that she does a whistle, and in the beginning of the thing he does a whistle back. It's how they kind of play hide and seek, and she does the whistle, and then all of a sudden he whistles back and he comes in. His mask is really messed up because it's just normal cloth. And he goes up to her and she's like, I love you, baby. You're my little boy, and everything like that. Just giving him a big hug. And he just go, oh, mom's not going to betray me. And she tries to stab him, and he catches her arm and he looks at her, and you can see he's crushed. He's like, why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, and that's the part I really like because of the fact that it shows that he's not just operating on programming. It's not like his brain has been overridden and he's like must obey pod. He's doing this because yes, he is partially programmed, but the fact that he stops and like looks at his mom like, you too?
Yep.
Like he gives her this look like, out of everyone, I thought I could trust you. Like, and that's why I say, like, when I say, like, earlier, I said that, like, he clearly adores his mother. Like, even before he starts killing people, it is very clear he's a mama's boy. And not in the sense that he's, like, emasculated by her. It's just he adores and loves his mother very, very much. And I feel like he's taken it as a disappointment every time he's had to kill someone out of his special group, whether that's the girl he liked or, you know, his uncle or his aunt or his dad. Every time it's just been, that's a shame. With his mother, it's not, that's a shame. It's, Mom, why? Like he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand why out of everyone on the planet, why would you betray me? You said you're supposed to love me. Why would you do this?
Mm-hmm. So he gets really mad. He flies straight up, 32,000 feet?
Yeah, he goes up super high.
He goes up super high, and he goes through the ceiling. So by the time you see his mom again, as he's flying up, she's beat to shit. She's cut up and everything from just the damage of flying through, wood and a roof.
Yeah, because they went up. Since for those who haven't seen the movie, who may be watching, they are in the like cellar of the barn where the pod is. So they go up through the cellar, up through the roof of the barn, and then up to like airliner height.
Yep. So she looks at him, they look at each other, they have this really poignant moment, and he drops her.
Yeah, like they have a last, like I feel like it's a last moment of like the way he looks at her looks to me like, I didn't want to do this to you.
Yep.
And I think the way his mom looks at him is, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Like she realizes that he would never have hurt her if she didn't do what she did. He would have kept her safe. He never would have let anyone touch her. I feel like if anyone had tried to come arrest her or government agents came to interrogate her, he would have killed anyone who got close to his mother.
Oh yeah.
But because she broke his heart, like I really do believe like she broke his fucking heart, because I think that was the death of the last piece of human in him.
Mm-hmm.
Was this betrayal by his mother, who was a saint to him, essentially. Like that was the one person who would never hurt him, his mother. And she did. Yeah. And he had to punish her for it because he was angry and hurt. But he gives her this look before he drops her of just like, I didn't want to do this.
So after he drops her, you don't even see her fall. You just see her fade out of sight. He looks over and there's a commercial airliner flying towards him. It cuts to the next scene of news reports and the house and wreckage of an airliner that crashed. It's unclear what happened, but the husband and mother and father were killed, and they are survived by their one son, who is sitting on the back of a truck eating cookies.
Yeah, he's sitting in the back of an ambulance, and they gave him some cookies because sugar helps for people who are in shock. And he's just sitting there calmly like, nom, nom, which is a throwback to earlier in the movie when his mother and father come to him as he's eating cereal for breakfast, and they say, honey, we have something to tell you. Uncle Noah is gone. And he goes, okay. And then his mom goes, baby, do you understand? Uncle Noah's passed away. And he just stares at his mom and goes, I feel like you want me to cry or something.
Yeah.
And that's when Dad starts suspecting.
That's when Dad catches on that something's really wrong.
Yeah, because that causes Dad to flip out on him and be like, what did you do, you little shit? Like, what the fuck did you do to my friend? Blah, 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 blah. And Mom is like, what are you doing? Leave him alone. Why are you accusing him of it? And then Brightburn says like, leave me alone or something, and like shoves his dad into a dish cabinet and just destroys the dish cabinet. And
yeah, like, that's when they realize he has superpowers.
Yeah, that was their exposure to him at least having super strength, which, you know, like Dad looks at him like, how the fuck did you do that? And Mom goes, oh God, what was that? Which I think is a fun callback to the moment that he realizes he has super strength, where it's his first moment of realizing he has powers, where Dad tells him like, hey, can you mow the lawn? I gotta go to the seed store. And he's like, yeah, that's no problem, Dad, I got it. And he's doing a pull mower, and it's one of those like automatic ones where when you hold both handles it will pull itself forward, but it still has that pull cable to get the engine going, and he's having issues, you know, and he's like, stupid piece of shit. And finally he ends up getting it going, but he pulls it so hard. He pulls the rip cable so hard that he gets it going, but he literally throws it like a quarter of a mile, and he just watches it soar through the air going, and then it crashes. And that's when he's like, what the fuck did I just do? And he goes over to it because the blades are somehow still operating, despite the fact that the main chassis of the mower is obliterated. And he's like, what happens if I do this? And he shoves his hand into the blades, and the blades just bend and shatter. Like, his hand is fine. The blades just are destroyed. He like looks at his hand like, I have superpowers.
So he's sitting there eating cookies, and that's how the movie ends.
Yeah, this is the end of the movie.
And
also, before we get to the point, fun little call out to Michael Rooker, who I adore as an actor.
Yeah.
Michael Rooker is one of my favorite actors. I would love to meet him in person one day because he seems like
he's big on the con circuit. You just got to find.
I know he is. Like, I would love to meet him one day because he.
I want to meet him for Mallrats. He showed his bare ass on camera.
He was in Mallrats.
He was the dad in Mallrats.
Oh my god! It's been so many years since I've seen that I didn't even.
How do you forget he was in Mallrats?
Because I didn't know who the fuck Michael Rooker was when the first time I saw Mallrats. like my first memorable exposure to Michael Rooker was Walking Dead when he was Merle, and then I realized like I've seen this guy in a bunch of other stuff, and then I've seen him in a bunch of stuff since, and every time I see him, I'm like, it's Merle. Like, I always forget his name. But like, fun call out to Michael Rooker here is like a YouTube conspiracy theorist that you'll see in these end credits. It's really funny.
So he's a YouTube supernatural conspiracy theorist, and he goes through this little end credit scene. See, there's the hospital,
office building, whatever it is,
office building or whatever. You know, this.
Yeah, and here's him floating above a forest fire in Kansas, which I, if you pause it real quick. I feel like the forest fires in Kansas moment, because we never do find out where is the town of Brightburn. Like, it's clearly Midwest because it's a farming town.
It's in Kansas. It is confirmed. It is in Kansas.
Okay, because like I wasn't sure about that just because I was viewing that like forest fires in Kansas. I was viewing that as like a little call out to like, hey, where's Superman from? Kansas, fuck you.
Yeah, Kansas, fuck you.
Anyway, continue.
There's the Brightburn symbol burned into a field.
He's pulling the crop circle tactic.
Just like that, half man, half sea creature. Can't find any fishing vessel in the South China Sea.
Half man, half fish sea creature in the South China Sea.
Yep.
Like what we were talking about last week, some kind of witch woman who choked people out with ropes and cords.
So, Witch Woman, Brightburn, and an Aquaman. So, Wonder Woman, Superman, Aquaman.
The one thing that I didn't understand, like, honestly, I haven't made this connection until you and I started talking about it, because the Witch Woman thing has like some old timey drawing for her. Like the Aquaman thing, like there's a photo, it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
The Witch Woman thing, I thought was just like him being a conspiracy theorist of like, oh, look at this flying guy, look at this aqua creature. It's just like this drawing from the 1800s. And I was like, okay, so that third one's bullshit. I never made the connection of like, no, this is supposed to be Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm. And then we have these. This is actually kind of, you got the Crimson Bolt right there, whatever that is, the Martian Manhunter, the Flash, and then the fifth one, which would be Batman technically. But
yeah, that would probably be Batman. I suppose it might not be Batman. It could also be Green Lantern.
Could be. So that's the end of that. And that was supposed to set up a connecting universe for this series.
Yeah, think of it as an evil DCU. An
evil DCU, which would have been a lot of fun. It's right up there with the Dark Universe that got scrapped.
Dark Universe? Oh, the monsters. Yeah.
The monster universe that got scrapped, which would have been so much fun.
Actually, I would, first off, two things. One, I was so sad that got scrapped. Second off, can I ask that if we're going to talk Dark Monster Universe, can we do Dracula Untold at some point?
That's on my list of possibilities for Halloween.
Okay, because I fucking love that movie. Like,
I thought it was a great movie.
Dracula Untold was literally, honestly, probably my favorite vampire movie in like 20 years. I'm a slut for vampires. I will not lie. I love vampire movies. I love vampire literature. I love vampire games. Dracula Untold was so good. And when I heard that, like, that was the first movie of the dark universe where they're okay, we're gonna do Dracula first, because of course it's Dracula, we gotta do him first, and then they were gonna do the Wolfman, the Mummy, Frankenstein. I was so excited for that, and then they scrapped it because Dracula Untold didn't do well for whatever reason, despite
Johnny
the fact
Depp was actually the one who was supposed to play the Invisible Man.
he would have been so good.
Oh yeah, as Rodney, he would have been fantastic.
Oh, he would have been so good. As
And
the
they were,
Invisible Man.
and I'm sorry, I did. The Mummy wasn't well received, but I enjoyed. I didn't think it was great, but I enjoyed it. But the big thing
Wait,
was,
did they do a Mummy for Dark Universe?
Yeah, that's what Tom Cruise's Mummy film was. It was.
I need to watch that then. I never saw it. I just knew that Tom Cruise did some kind of mummy film, and I never.
It was supposed to be the next one into Dark Universe. It introduced the paranormal dealing team. It had Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and it was really good. I mean, if you're into that stuff, it was really good. Unfortunately, not a lot of people went to see it. So we were supposed to get a potentially broader thing. Confirmed that the film credits were in reference to the half-man, half-sea creature terrorizing the seas. Frank wants apparently there's that show called Super, which he's in the show. He's in it. They share world, and a powerful witch who chokes her victims with rope was intended to set up a sequel. In addition to noting an alternate ending to the film featuring Ernie Hunter Callan, which is the
Emmy Hunter.
Emmy Hunter's Caitlin ending with her lab fastening a robot arm on her broken arm and just pissed off. I don't know who that is.
Caitlin is Brightburn's girlfriend.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Caitlin / Emmy Hunter.
So turned her into a cyborg and stuff,
which would be another DCU moment because cyborg.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a gender bent cyborg.
A ton of other such endings had been discussed. Yeah, and they were supposed to set up like this Brightburn universe, and they could have. It would have worked even with the aging kids, because they would have just their impact on things as they got older.
Yeah, well, even this thing, the alternate ending featuring Caitlin getting a robot arm. You know what? You could have time jumped that and just had her and like. You know, you could have had a scene where someone like she's getting the operation right, or she's about to get the operation to have the robo arm implanted, right? Mm-hmm. And you could have had someone like one of her friends or compatriots or whatever be like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And she can be like, "I'm gonna kill that son of a bitch." And you're gonna and you then like see the operation happen, and like she flexes the arm, tries out the robo arm, and then
punches through a wall.
Yeah, and like she punches through a wall, and then she goes, "Where is he?" And then someone turns on a TV, and you see a news channel saying, like, Brightburn spotted in Montana, and like now you know who's she going after? Brightburn.
Mm-hmm. So, in June 19th, James Gunn announced, stated the discussion that a potential sequel was happening, and he was busy writing and directing Suicide Squad and Guardians 3. In August 2019, Jackson A. Dunn stated that in an interview with Screen Rant that he'd be interested in reprising his role as Brandon Byers, which is great, which is the kid who played Brightburn. In addition, Dunn said he would like to see an up-and-coming actors being cast in lead roles in potential future films. That's good. We don't need to bring in the same old. We need new, we need bright, we need other things. We would never have gotten Wednesday if somebody hadn't taken a chance at Jenna Ortega. And my God!
I love that show. I'm so glad.
Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega is amazing. Also, I don't know if you heard, because I know you told me last week or earlier this week that you were getting into season 1 and enjoying it.
Oh, I watched.
And obviously season 2 is coming, but they've also said Wednesday has been renewed for season 3.
Yes, I saw that.
But I will also say this in regards to the guy who plays Brightburn, Jackson Dunn, saying like he would love to see up and coming actors getting roles as adult members of the Brightburn universe, whatever, which is great. That's phenomenal. I view that very similar to the HBO Harry Potter show, where, granted, I personally have views on that show. I'm not happy it's happening. At the same time, I'm also not going to throw hate at a bunch of the actors who this is their big break. Because frankly, like someone like Nick Frost, who's playing Hagrid, you know what? Bro has the money. He could have turned that shit down. If he's aware of what's going on with J.K. Rowling being a fucking horrible human being, he should have turned that shit down. But up and coming actors who they don't have a fucking fortune, they don't have massive credits to their name, they don't have the ability to just ignore a role chance like that. I can't blame them for doing that because acting is their fucking career.
I feel bad
Like
for the kids. I hope their parents keep them offline.
Yeah, honestly, that is my big concern. Not only even with the kids, but even the fact like I don't personally have a problem with this. This does not bother me. They cast a black man as Severus Snape.
Yeah, Papa C.
And honestly, I know nothing about this actor. I have no issue with him. I don't have a problem with him accepting the role. I don't care that they cast someone who is black as Severus Snape. I don't. If he can perform the role well, good for him.
I have issues
my concern for him is he's going to get a double whammy of the people who hate J.K. Rowling, which granted, again, I will say this flat out, J.K. Rowling needs to fucking die. She's a horrible fucking person. But he's going to get the double whammy of people being like, how fucking dare you accept this role? I don't know if he's a super popular actor. This could be his breakout role.
He's
which,
actually a very good actor from things I've seen.
I mean, whether he's good or not isn't the question. The question is this a breakout role for him? Like if this could make his career, if he hasn't had a breakout role before, this could make his career. How the fuck is he going to turn that down?
He's not
Second
going
off,
to. Now, here's my problem.
The thing is, he's going to get the double whammy of how dare you play Severus? You're black, blah, 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 blah. And then he's also going to get all the hate from the J.K. Rowling haters. It's like, bro, it's not his fault.
I think Papa Sidhu would do a fantastic job in any role. The issue with Snape is multiple layered. First, you have Snape is a well-established description and across the books in multiple drawings by J.K. Rowling. Okay, right. It's her shit. She can do what she wants with it. But here's the other problem. First of all, when they said they were doing this television series, whether you agree with it or not, they said they were doing it to be more accurate to the books, to expand what the movies missed.
Right. Okay, which of course the movies missed quite a bit.
Because the movies cut quite a bit, especially the whole arcs in Goblet of Fire were cut
right. Out. And I will state this now for anyone who's in chat. Like, I have read the books. As much as I enjoyed the movies, like I watched the movies first because I never read the Harry Potter books when I was in high school. Like that's when the books were coming out and shit. I had a whole bunch of Potterhead friends who kept telling me to read the books, read the books, read the books. I didn't want to read the books. Once the movies started coming out, I watched the first movie and then the second movie because those were the two that were out at the time. And suddenly I was like, I need to read these books. These movies were cool. Those books are great. Mm-hmm. They are. Like there is no denying that. Like regardless of whether
they got a whole generation of kids to read.
Right, and like J.K. Rowling may be a fucking garbage human being, but she wrote some damn good books.
So the other thing is certain things that were done to Snape and how Snape was treated in the book can be completely spun into something different because of the Levius Corpus spell. Oh, look, they're lynching him. Oh, look, Neville always looks at Snape differently under untrustworthy. Not because Snape's a douchebag, but now because Snape is black. The problem, it's not the fact that he's black. It's they said this was supposed to be a more book accurate thing, and they do something like this, which they're going to have to rewrite so much, or they're going to keep it that way. And it was done because Snape was black, which and that's what people are afraid of.
And honestly, I hadn't thought of that fact because now when you get to the point in the story where like Harry like gets his pensive memories of seeing Snape as a student at Hogwarts with his mother and with James Potter. And now it's going to be a matter of why did Lily reject him? Oh, it's not because James was more charming or James was cooler or whatever. It's going to be, Lily picked James because she didn't want to be with a black guy. And that has nothing to do with it.
Racist. Because he bullied, it opens up so many horrible doors. Like you could say what you want about JK. You have every right to your opinions. She wrote a fantastic book, a fantastic story that touches kids on a profound level. They love these stories. The theme parks rake in more money in a day than we'll see in a lifetime.
And unfortunately, frankly, too much of that money goes to her because while she should get credit for writing those books, she's literally
had a hell of a lawyer for that one.
Yeah, but she has literally caused legislation to be issued in her home country that has affected a bunch of people in a really negative way. So, like, I'm not okay with her getting a bunch of money for doing nothing. Because, like, okay, someone made Hogwarts Legacy. Did she make Hogwarts Legacy? No, she did not. She did not write the story for it. She did not do any game dev work for it. She didn't do anything for Hogwarts Legacy 2. She didn't do anything for this show. Like, to my knowledge, she has been involved in the production process on approval. She has not written the scripts or anything. She should not be getting money for that because she's a fucking terrible human being. She's an awful person. And even the fact that, like, years after the books were done, she suddenly admitted, oh yeah, Gandalf's gay. You did that to be performative. Like, that was a performative thing. Yeah, she did that to be performative.
Dumbledore.
Yeah, it was Dumbledore was gay, and that was a performative move. Like, why would you release that information years after you finished the books? It doesn't affect anything in the story. It doesn't, except for the fact that people then started saying, "Oh, Dumbledore's a pedophile because he was so favoritive of Harry because he was a boy," and it's like, what?
So that's the issue. If you actually read the books, Dumbledore is good, but he's not very doing right by Harry through the whole book, especially, basically, knowing you're going to have to kill Harry to kill Voldemort.
Right,
Snape is not a good, despite what the movies tell you, Snape is not a good guy.
No, he's not. He actually
told the Dark Lord, I don't care what you do with James and the kid, just leave Lily alone. And the Dark Lord's like, no, I won't do that. And that's why Snape went to Voldemort. He was perfectly okay with the Dark Lord slaughtering people. He didn't care.
Yeah, Snape literally only became a double agent because of the fact that Voldemort said, like, no, I'm gonna kill the woman you love. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going off on a Potter tangent. We're talking about Brightburn.
So we're supposed to get sequels, and Jackson A. Dunn said it was, as of April 2024, expressed doubt a sequel would happen due to an issue with the H Collective. Now, I don't know anything about the H Collective.
Yeah, I honestly, I can't think of any other.
It's a privately traded company. It's based out of L.A. It was founded in June 2027.
Or June 2017, you mean?
Apparently, they acquired the rights to the Triple X series with the Vin Diesel series, which is not horrible.
God. Oh, no.
They have the rights to Brightburn. Oh, and apparently they did some of the Blacklist scripts. Oh,
I don't know. I don't know Blacklist offhand.
Yeah, they've done some stuff, but they did Wrong Turn as well, which horror film.
I know of Wrong Turn, but I haven't seen it. But
we might have to add it to the list. It's a horror film from 2021.
I'll
there
give
is
it
a movie I am looking for because I'm going to see if we can get them on when we review it, and that is Dead Hooker in a Trunk.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's Jen and Sylvia Soska's first film that they made, and they are not only amazing directors, but they're amazing comic book writers too. And I want to get them on. I can't find it streaming, so
I'll give you another recommendation, whether we do it Halloween or pre-Halloween, whatever.
I have a list here that just keeps growing.
I can add another movie to the list because it's honestly it's one of my favorite horror movies. It's called Wicked Little Things. It's from 2006. It features Scout Taylor Compton as the main protagonist, which, if you've seen the Rob Zombie Halloweens, she's the one who plays Laurie.
Okay.
But Wicked Little Things is from 2006. Basic premise is, Scout's family, like, her and her mom and whatever, move to like an Appalachian town because mom apparently inherited her like great grandpa's house or whatever, like, and it's like Appalachian mining town, like from way back before the child labor laws in mining town. And there's some legends about ghost children that you stay inside at night or whatever, and it's it's basically the story of them encountering these undead children, and the children are. They're not just like there to kill people. They're there for revenge.
Okay, I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah, it's a
ghost
really.
Story. I have I'm not a blood guts gore horror guy. Like, I get it, it's cool, but it can be over the top. Not that I have anything against it. It's just not my cup of tea when it comes to horror. I love ghosts. I love ghost stories because it's something you can do nothing about.
Yeah, and I will say, well, Wicked Little Things has violence and gore in it. It's not
That's
like
fine, but
it's not
don't.
over the
I don't
top
want the I don't
ridiculous
like
ghost
when
gore.
the antagonist like I didn't like Saw. I don't think it's a bad movie. I just didn't enjoy it.
Honestly, like with Saw, I'm of the same mind. Like Saw 1 and 2 were okay, they were good movies. Saw 3 was Saw 4 was I
Good
didn't
horror. I
like
love
the
Woman in Black. Her
yes, that's a good one.
favorite. Absolutely phenomenal. It's on my list.
Hmm.
But so now is the part of the stream where we segue over to Critic List. If you don't know what Critic List is a review website for movies that you can go on, log in, make it a free account, and give yourself a movie review. What it is, all that stuff. You can give yourself a movie review. You can, set up a profile and just review movies and give your honest opinion on them.
Hmm.
Be it nude, be it new movies, even TV shows are on this. I have done quite a few, but this is the one from Brightburn. It's got the overall audience score is 53. I gave it a 65 myself.
Yeah. My scores for Brightburn. I
Yeah,
gave it an
I'm scrolling down and we're going through everything.
yeah. I will also say for chat for folks watching. Brim's the one who introduced me to the site. I didn't know it existed prior to this. It's actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's
Got a nice retro
I
aesthetic to it.
I hope this site gets more popular, but not necessarily mainstream. I just want this site to get exposure because I want the people who run this site to be able to do more because I think it's really cool.
They have a they do, if you want to contribute, they do have a membership Crit Club.
Oh shit! Apparently, someone liked my review 17 minutes ago.
Yeah, wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you.
I didn't dislike it, but yeah, no, I dropped a review on it, and I gave my review. Tucho gave it a 79%. I give it a 65. It's good, but it's got some plot holes. The derivative Superman aspect is there. That doesn't make it a bad movie. It is a fun watch, at least once or twice.
The reason I gave it a 79% is an 80% or higher would give it a maximum like 5 out of 5 score, and I feel this movie, viewing it both as the movie itself and the potential it had to create follow-up films, whether that's more of Brightburn himself or other evil entities in that same universe, I felt like it was a really cool concept. It failed to go forward, apparently due to these IP issues are with H Collective.
So we got Golden Age Geek here, who did a great little review. Superman is undoubtedly one of the most iconic heroes of all time, quite possibly the most iconic hero ever. So it's no surprise that storytellers have explored the idea of an evil version of him. Wow, that's a novel.
Holy shit, that dude went like all in on the review.
Yeah,
damn.
Yeah, good for him. Where is it? Yeah, it's just standard good review, 70%. I had the derivative factor is a really big thing for me, like the derivative of Superman, evil. But otherwise, I thought it was a great film. Quite brutal. Really connected the character though. No review. So
someone gave it a heinous review. If you scroll back up, someone gave it a really bad review.
Robot before me. Yeah, he gave it a bad review. Mike and Karen gave it a bad review. Heinous, 19%.
I don't know how. I'm not gonna lie. Like just that first chunk we can see the movie has gets violent fast. Like it's a horror movie, bro. What the fuck do you mean it gets violent fast? Of course it gets violent fast. The movie has an okay opening but an awful unsatisfying ending. Like what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah,
and that's his entire review outside of his like.
I thought the story came to full head. I mean, the PS scene was great because you see him wreaking havoc and there's nothing humans can do about it.
Right. I granted, I wouldn't have minded seeing like a military response to him. Like I wouldn't have minded like seeing him devastating a city and a bunch of like, military.
It's still too early for them to realize what the hell is going on. I feel that happened pretty soon after everything started.
I mean, that's fair. I just like, if you're going to show him destroying an office building and him near forest fires and shit like that, I wouldn't have minded like the last thing we see of him before Michael Rooker's, conspiracy theorist guy being
here we go. Black Wolf, James Gunn's second worst Superman movie, and the first example of nepotism, which gave his wife more DC appearances than literally any other character. I'm not joking. See, I think James Gunn really produced this well because it's not Superman. That's what makes it good. It's not Superman. It's Superman, not Superman. When he actually tried to tackle Superman, I just checked out. He's good with ensemble movies that have heart, like Guardians of the Galaxy. He should have done like a Justice Society movie or something. But tackling Superman, man, that was just out of his wheelhouse. Yeah. So bogus, 35, 6%. But yeah, just not great for an overall stellar rating of 53 for 18 votes. But yeah, no, it's absolutely fantastic. We got Elizabeth Bank, Matt Jones. What else has this kid been in? Brightburn.
That's a good question.
He was in Endgame.
Huh?
Was he in Endgame? Legendary dude, I hate your danger. And a role, 12-year-old. He was in Shameless. 3 episodes of Shameless. Lang was in Blockbusters, Avengers, Endgame. I don't remember him in Endgame. But yeah, no, this was The Colony, Guns N' Moses. He hasn't been in much lately.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, if Endgame was his last major role, it looks like, I mean, Get Shorty I've heard of, but
yeah. So that we're gonna wrap it up here for the first episode of Real Talk. Next week, we're gonna do a comedy, and a very low-key comedy that not a lot of people have heard of. We are gonna do Broken Lizard's Club Dread.
never heard of it.
You ever seen Super Troopers?
Yes.
It's a horror comedy film that is absolutely fantastic.
Okay.
It's got Bill Paxton in it as an aging
nice.
rock star hipster Jimmy Buffett type. And he fucking kills it. So that is where we are going to end tonight's stream. Thank you, Roman of the Empire, for coming out. I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy the stream, hit the like, hit the sub button, share this out there, leave a comment. This is going to be delisted afterwards. Check out my videos. King of the Hill Revival is just around the corner, and I will be doing reviews on the season and every episode. That kicks up August 4th. Next week, pay attention to my news for random pop culture stuff that is not covered by the main big channels. The low-key stuff like that, book releases, some comic book stuff and things like that. But like, sub, share this out there, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a great night.
Bye, chat.
Bye.